Hey guys, I wanted to make this video. I open that up. It's like the first thing I say in every video. I wanted to make this video. I still want to make this video. I'm making it now. That's kind of why. I wanted to make this video an immediate response to the last one, the Kundalini experience one, because I realized that some of you may not actually have any background with utilizing that energy, moving it around, dealing with it. This for the immediate directive for anybody else that's joining up. You may not even know, the last video may not, you might not even have seen that. I don't know, but the video is about maintaining the Kundalini impulse. In order to activate the Kundalini impulse, you have to have a certain degree of control over the flow of energy in your body. And in order to do that, you kind of got to be aware of it. So, this video will focus on tactile imaging, which is something that I had kind of unlocked for me, but I've developed ways to train it. Ariel activated this in me through spot casting. She kind of put a cast on me and hypnotized me and put a suggestion in that triggered it. And it just, that was an amazing experience in and of itself. She sat me down by the lake and did the usual breathing exercises, the trying to bring up our general energy flow. Obviously, not kind of like controlling it, but to just to do the normal breathing exercises. Breathe deeply, rhythmically, focus on your breath. Try to feel the cells in your body kind of get saturated with that oxygen, build it up, sit still, keep your spine straight, your erect posture, and just breathe slowly and steadily. A lot of people got all kinds of different methods for breathing that they'll give you, like breathe for 5 seconds in and then 2 seconds out, or in through your nose and out through your mouth, or some such nonsense like that. Just breathe slowly, deeply, and rhythmically, and feel your heartbeat, feel the energy throbbing, and you feel your cells light up, static in your body as best you can. Now, again, I don't know if you guys feel that even, but it's there. So look for it. This is a meditation you're doing. Look for it. Find that feeling. Find that feeling of the energy in your body. So she sat me down. We did that. And as soon as I got into a kind of semi-tranced state, she was saying things to me, telling me what to think, telling me what to do. And out of nowhere, while I'm doing this meditation, that she's guiding me through, a kind of journey in the mind, just randomly taking me in positions, kind of projecting my mind around. And then she just goes drop, and I flew down, like fell out of my body like a spittle. I felt like a spittle when like hanging on a thread, and I was just miles down there, like way down in the middle of the planet, and I was just hanging there. And I felt the chasms and shit, and like I felt breaks in the earth. I felt rock, crust layers and all that shit. And I was hanging in like a cavern of like it felt like crystals on the outside. I didn't get a visual of this, but I felt it. And if you've ever had that, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, then that's what we're gonna get you to. Um, and then, she pulled me back up. She said, okay, you can come back up now, after I hung for a little while. And when I got back into my body, I opened my eyes and I felt everything. I felt the leaves in the fucking trees. I felt the birds' heart beating, the birds flying by. I felt their fucking hearts beating. I felt the waves on the lake, the pattern of the lake. I felt everything. I felt the blades of fucking grass growing beneath me. I felt her. I felt her heartbeat. I felt the shape of her, form of her. That was beautiful. That was a really beautiful experience, and it never went away. Well, I've had that ever since. It's become a natural kind of normal thing for me, that I can feel these, feel textures and shapes of things, and I can feel to some extent I've gotten to the point where I can kind of actually get other senses off of it, where I can like I can feel the taste of a thing. If you probably don't understand what I mean, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Um, what I want you to do, because I don't know how to do, like I'm still way behind her in what she was when I was training under her. I have no idea how she did some of the shit she did, but I'm getting there with what I'm learning about how to do spot casting, which of course I'll teach you all about that. It's pretty intricate, and I might have to make more than one video about it, but it really is a very simple practice. Once you get the hang of it, you just have to kind of know the ins and the outs of how it works, and really just sort of program that into your mind and have it. It's got to become a second nature, and you do have to be fast. You have to be very, very quick and attentive. So, that's something we'll get to eventually once we get you guys to the point where you're building up the energy like I am. Some of you know how to do this already. Some of you are doing it. Some of you have been doing it, but some of you may not. And, some of you I am actually in the process of training. So I can, I can say for sure exactly where you're at and what you do and do not, what you are and are not capable of doing here. And so, just to make sure that we all get up to speed, I'm going to take us through the basics. What I want you to do is do that breathing exercise, get that feeling, and then I want you to just move your hand, just move it. Just move your arm, move your hand like that, in kind of sweeps, do big sweeps, and then lay them down and keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Keep feeling that. If you have to clench your fist, and release, and then do that. Clench your fist without actually clenching it. Get the feeling, put the tension in there, and you'll feel that fist. You feel that arm clenching. You'll feel the energy kind of flow into it. Once you get it, once you really hit it, you're gonna feel energy like a surge of energy. It's gonna go into your hand. It's gonna charge your hand, and then I want you to move it. Do the moving thing and move it, and then move the phantom arm. You have a phantom body. You just need to become aware of that and get the hang of using it. Everybody has a phantom body. It's kind of it's what we use during projections and dreaming and shit. Um, Ephemeral self that breaks, perpetual self that is a morphogenetic field that is unbreakable, invincible, ever changing. Uh, if you know about morphogenetic fields, you'll know what I'm saying there. A morphogenetic field is essentially the theorem behind what the halo or the aura field of a thing is. That it's kind of an evolutionary catalyst that takes the lead and guides and directs the shaping of a thing, not just the shape and the form of it, but also the properties and the everything of a thing, what it does, what it is, what it's doing. It's based on its evolutionary pattern. It's based on where it wants to go, where it's deciding to go, and it's based on what it needs to do. So that's essentially what the morphogenetic field would be, the thing that shapes you, and then you become it. That is the phantom body, and you can activate and you can use this phantom body, and we'll get into projections and all that shit. Um, eventually when I get around to it. But I want you to do those exercises, get that phantom body moving, get that feeling going, so you can clench that. You can really charge that energy around you. And when you've got that, then let me know if you've got that. And I'm gonna make the next video anyway, so I mean it's not gonna matter. But that's what you're gonna be using, that feeling, that charge, in order to charge the impulse and activate it. Actually cause a triggering of it. And this is, I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys to do that, because like I said, it can be dangerous, and I don't know you closely enough to tell you if you're in the proper balance or whatnot, but I've outlined that, and I'll make an advanced maintenance video to make certain that you know like the particulars. But definitely, if you have an addiction, an attachment like that, that you cannot, you know, something that is a deal breaker if you don't have it. I'm not talking about drugs that are like something that you require, like a medicine for a certain illness, or you know something you use to treat something that's long term. If you're using things like those antidepressants and shit, that's I'm not, I don't know, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I would drop that shit immediately. And I don't know what, you know, some of you might have depression. I know some of you do, and you know you might suffer from that. And these these pills seem to pick you up, and that's something. If that's going to be what it is, and you need that to be, and you can't maintain without it. If you're going to get all down and suicidal without it, then by all means keep taking it. Um, but this impulse will eliminate that. It'll get rid of your depression. Believe me. You didn't feel anything like depression ever again. But again, I'm not going to tell you to or push you to alter the way that you're living in order to suit that or to jump on it, because who knows, it might not work out for you. You may not be able to do it. You might go through even harder depression because it's going to, the impulse acts upon things that are imbalanced. It fights them. So if you do have a problem with depression, it will likely get worse for a while in order to build your immunity to it. It's going to cause you to balance yourself out, and it's going to do it the hard way. It's going to do it fast, and it's going to do it hard, and it's going to be a difficult battle if you don't have a kind of a grip to begin with. Which you just get that grip, work on that, and if any of you have, you know, some of you do, and if any of you have troubles, personal concerns about any of this, or you are you know, you need to talk about something, your depression or anything like that, medications, you know, you can contact me and I will help you. I'm knowledgeable enough to get you across on that. I've been doing it with everybody for a long while. Fortunately, you guys haven't really required that much guidance in that regard, but some of you have. Um, so, but please do contact me, and I can help you get through any of that. I can help you deal with any of it. It's not a problem, and it won't be a problem. Um, I want you guys all up to speed, though. I want I want to get you moving fast enough, and the reason being because when you do this, you know, it may seem monotonous to you right now. It may seem like something that you don't really care so much for. You guys here in the directive, the immediate directive, you already care enough to be here, and I thank you so much for that. I love you guys, and I'm really happy you're here. And I'm gonna get us somewhere awesome. It's gonna happen quick. But uh, for the most part, the essential peoples, I want you to be up to speed. And I mean, you gotta put something into this. You gotta put. It's gonna take discipline. It's gonna take you making a little bit of time for it. And it's not, you know, you don't have to fucking spend hours a day, but you're going to have to take it, you know, 10, 20 minutes here and there and practice some of these things, and get it working so that it becomes commonplace for you, so that it becomes easy for you to do this. And then when you do activate the impulse, you're going to be supercharged. First of all, you're going to love that in and of itself. It's going to be an amazing experience for you. You have no idea how fucking fascinating it can really be when you're just at the edge of everything, and everything's, you're at top speed, and you can really push it, you know, and you're moving your metabolism, your body, your mind, your brain, your thought process, your considerations, your feelings, everything about you is just souped up and amplified. It's moving faster, stronger. um, When you do that, you're going to love that in and of itself. It's going to be a great experience for you. And I look forward to seeing the feedback from that. But on top of that, when you push it and you use the impulse for something like this and you start dealing with other people the way that I do, and dealing with fucking boatloads of people a day, and you get to the point where you're moving so fast and so steadily that you're able to coordinate entire fucking series of events where people, several people at a time are affected in a certain specific way that you plotted to help them by the song you posted. You knew just what to post, what song to post. You knew just what to write to affect not one or two or three, but a whole group of people at a time. When you start doing shit like that, you're gonna be addicted. You're gonna love it, and when that happens, we're gonna get moving. We're gonna get really, really moving fast. When there's more than, two of us, myself, Miguel, the founding members, Boo, Megan, Alice. When all of us are moving like that, and we have that investment in it, because we all have. Everybody loves to say, I don't have any time. You all have time. Everybody has time that they sit around staring at their phone, watching other fucking, looking at stupid fucking cat videos or whatever. Not this cat videos are stupid. They're awesome. I love the cat videos, but you know, just fucking wasting time a lot. And mostly because we're tired, because we're beat, we need a rest, so we're just gonna let our brain saturate with this nonsense. But when you have an excess of energy and you get to that point where you realize that actually here's a moment and there's a moment, and you know what, I'm starting to pick up time here, and then you start making time and you start warping time and actually spending time doing several things at once and micromanaging your moments, and managing your time in such a way that you just it's a commodity now. Like, you're picking up moments here and there. I got a few seconds here, I can add to a few seconds here, and I've got a few minutes to make this happen over here, and it becomes a chain reaction where you're making things happen like that. Now, maybe not all of you are going to do that. Maybe you're not interested, maybe it's not something that you think you'd want to get into, but when you do get into it, you actually do it. It's the best feeling I ever had. I've been through a lot of shit. I've been through a lot of shit. Done all kinds of drugs and stuff. This is by far better than any of that. I am entirely focused on this now, having forgotten about even meeting a girl, let alone dating her. And you guys know how big a deal that is to me. And right now, I wouldn't have the time for it. I have to say it myself, truly. And you know what? It's too bad. Because the time I'm spending is buying me something excellent. So do the exercises, breathing exercises to get the feel for yourself. Just feel your body, and then do the hand moving and move that phantom limb, and do the charging. That's particularly important. Do that, and like throw a punch and feel your whole thing flex. That's what you're doing. You're flexing the energy, flexing that phantom limb like a muscle. And the more you do that, the stronger it's going to get, until you have like a firm grip on it, and it's just there. It's no longer something that you have to work towards finding. And we, insofar as seeing it, like for example, some of you that have done mushrooms, hallucinogens, so to speak, psychedelics. Some of you that have done things like that, you've seen the trails that follow. You've seen the trails that move ahead. You've seen the disconnected light. That's it. You can find it more easily. You should be equipped with what's necessary, having experienced that, and some of you have felt it in that way. These psychedelics will equip you with the necessary values to do these things naturally, without a whole hell of a lot of practice. So, I mean, if that's something you've done, look back on that memory and use it. If it's something you're doing or something you could do, and maybe you're leery of it, get some mushrooms and hang out with me. I'll show you a good time. But they're safe, they're fun. Just uh, be good about that. But practices, we got to get that phantom body flexing, and then pretty soon I'll make the activation video and make advanced maintenance videos, and I'll make finally the video for actually utilizing it, making use of the impulse. When you do that, you start building up huge amperages of energy and just letting loose on it is fucking fantastic. It'll wear you out. You smoke, it'll wear you out. But fortunately, most of you might not have to be maneuvering around the city on foot too much. Maybe I should quit smoking. Anyways, love you guys. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for doing this, being a part of this team. It's yours too. It belongs to you, and I know that you guys care about it, but I'm not sure that any of you really understand how much I care about it. I want you to know that it means everything to me that you guys are backing me here. And this is going to be, we're going to make this happen for all of us. And you guys are going to be, exalted in that way when status becomes a big deal, and it will. And we are responsible for uniting the tribes, as it were. When we bring the people together and we start, an active front against negativity and division, you guys are going to be the leaders of the revolution. Thanks again. Sanku, namaste, kila salai.